All right. Are you streaming it if you want to?
Yeah, I'm streaming it. Why not?
Okay. Here we go.
Why not?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, NGR Radio's Xbox podcast. It's E3, and you know we have to represent as always. Everybody, come on, let's throw up the X.
Woo! What is he doing?
Oh, wow.
You know Jesse's tired. He's hitting that point where he's like, it's like that slap happy tired now.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I had a couple to drink.
Yes, everybody, it is E3. On this episode, we are going to be covering EA, Bethesda, and the explosive Microsoft conference. But before we get into that, like I said, I'm your host, Eddie V. Joining me is Mr. Wise, Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas.
Nice.
And boss man himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig.
I'm here. Woo! What a day. What a day. What a day. It was.
Yes.
It's been crazy. Dude, today, man, that Microsoft conference, man, they killed it. They killed it. And I know we're not talking about them first, but oh my gosh.
We have a lot to cover. We have a lot because they brought 50 games, and yes, they did everything just right. But we're gonna actually start with EA for this episode, just to get a few things out the way with EA. They announced their EA Origins premiere. It's going to be launching sometime this year. And what it is that you can play EA's games first early on PC. They have a price point for it. If you want to go for a whole year, it's $100, or you can pay $15 a month. Even they announced for the pre-show before they actually got into the conference, Madden NFL Mobile and the Sims 4 season, which is going to be released on June 27th. So just to get those out of the way, because they weren't in the actual, besides the EA streaming one, that was kind of a break for the conference, and the other two they did before everything started. But what we're going to do with this one, we're going to start with our lows, like games that was just like, oh no. We're going to go into the ones that we kind of are interested in, and then we're going to end on a high note of some of our personal highlights. So Corey, what did you think out of EA's press conference would be your lows?
I think all of us can agree that Command and Conquer for mobile was not the greatest showing.
Oh.
I grew up loving Command and Conquer on PC, and like, I don't know, I've been wanting that franchise to appear at some point for a long time, and like, that just was not the one. That's not how I wanted to see it. But also I think the low points for me was just, not that they were low points by any means, but just like seeing the only sports game coming to Switch again is FIFA, and it's just like, I would like to see Madden or even NBA Live or NHL. Like, I don't care about those games very much, but like, just to see those sports games come to Switch, come on, man. Like, you did it with FIFA, and that's probably a lot harder to do than something like Madden or something. Like, come on.
Yeah. Jesse, what was your lows for EA?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely like, yeah, I don't care too much about the sports games, but for me, like Corey said, it was Command and Conquer. Like, they just doesn't seem like they've updated it. Like, it just feels like it's like they basically just redid the ones that we used to play like years and years ago. Like, it just didn't really seem like they're bringing anything new to the table.
Yeah.
And it's really disappointing because, like, at this point, like, the best way to play Command and Conquer is like to play Halo Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. and I mentioned a couple on my Twitter feed. I'm like, this is a missed opportunity for this game to be on Switch. I think it would have gained more excitement if they would have revealed the title and the trailer, and then brought in the announcers and be like, "This is a Switch exclusive." I think a lot of people would have been happy. But personally, for me, uh, it's the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn. That game is coming out holiday 2019. That announcement didn't even need to happen. It's just like they brought him all the way there to say that, and then awkward silence and moved on. Like it was just like, why? What was the need for this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like if they would have actually showed something, I think it would have been better. But
Yes.
yeah, because they didn't show anything. Because like I mean,
Even a logo. They didn't even show a logo.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, because I'm excited for it because I want like a story-driven Star Wars game because that's what I'm gonna play. Like personally, like if I want to play like a Battlefield type game, I'm just gonna play Battlefield. So like for me, that's what like I'm genuinely excited for a Star Wars game. But for them to just do nothing about it, just say, hey, yeah, we're confirming something that you already knew. We are making a Star Wars game. That it was just kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're gonna get into, games that were interesting. That like, what, I might try this out sometime in the future. Jesse, what is yours that kind of like interesting to you?
For just EA.
Yeah.
Yes, just for EA.
Well, I don't know. I my brain is like not working right now. Trying to think about what everything that they showed. I don't even remember right now.
They showed Battlefield 5, FIFA 19,
Yeah.
Star Wars. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean Battlefield, obviously, and then Anthem. Like Anthem is, like I got more excited about that game, getting to see a little bit more of like what it's kind of what they're doing with it, and so that definitely made me more excited for that. So
Yeah, you said Unraveled too, also, right?
oh
At some
yeah,
point.
yeah, Unraveled 2, yeah. Unraveled 2 is looked really good. So
And Corey, what about you? What's something that you're just like, that, it caught your interest, whether you get it or not? It just caught your interest to it.
I mean, I think Battlefield 5 seems interesting, like what they're trying to do with it. I mean, it did look like Battlefield, but what they were kind of explaining about what they are kind of taking some creative freedoms with some of the stuff and maybe not making it 100% accurate to World War II kind of piques my interest, because that means like maybe they don't go the full Wolfenstein route of like totally changing history or whatever, but maybe they'll take some liberties with some stuff. And then, them teasing that Battle Royale mode makes me excited that we have another game to put into Royale with cheese. But I mean, Battlefield 5 looks interesting enough, and I'm always interested in the sports games. I wish they were coming to Switch. Soon I'm not gonna have time to be diving into some franchise modes for Madden. Because kid on the way, you don't really have a lot of time, and the time I will have, I would rather be playing something interesting with you guys, and so I don't know, but. I'm just going to go with my high now as well. Like, Anthem, I think, is the high point of that whole thing. When they opened up with the 3D the 3D monster coming out of the screen, and the characters flying around the conference room was really cool looking from a streamer's perspective. And, like, I like the fact that you can customize all of the javelins, at will, depending on what your friends are using. Like, you can just be like, oh, okay, you're using the Ranger and you're using Storm, I'm going to use the Colossus, because it can take a lot of damage, and that huge shield it carries looks like it's cool. They showed that one part in the level where you're running through these poison plants or whatever, and to clear the way, the Colossus used the big shield to like run them all over so the other characters could get through. That was cool. I think the Colossus is going to be my main right now. That or the Storm. The Storm javelin looks really cool too. So, I don't know. Anthem, I think, is definitely the high point of that whole conference.
Okay. For me, one of the games that I'm very interested in, Sea of Solitude. I thought that was had a great showing. Loving the art style. I think I need to see more before I make a final judgment for it. And Unravel 2 is kind of is right there. My highest for me definitely is Battlefield 5. I'm liking the way that it's looking. Can't wait to get a try to play it. And with you guys, I agree. Anthem is the highlight of this show. Um, I think I want to kind of a breakdown of the class, maybe, and see which one is going to be more fitting for me. But to give you guys like a quick rundown of what was shown for the show, uh, Battlefield 5 is coming out in October. You'll be able to customize your soldier, vehicles, and weapons. You'll also be able to crush buildings with your tanks. And the Royale mode is coming to the game at the launch. FIFA 19. They're getting a UEFA Champion League for all consoles. FIFA World Cup 18. You guys can play that now, like a free trial on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Um, and I think the game is out for FIFA 19 is September 28th. Also, if you guys have the Switch version, you will be able to play online. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn will be out holiday 2019. Star Wars Battlefront 2, they announced a new squad mode, a new multiplayer sandbox. They're also adding the Clone Wars from that television series. And you'll be able to control or fight against General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Count Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker. Unravel 2 is out right now, available for that you guys want to play that. Red and blue Unravels are on here, so there's a red Yanni and a blue Yanni. The game could be played single or co-op. Sea of Solitude is going to be early 2019. NBA Live 19 is September 7th. Madden 19 is August 10th. Command and Conquer Rivals is mobile for iOS and Android, but you guys can get a trial mode for Android if you want to. Last but not least, Anthem. The game will be out on February 22nd, 2019. You are a freelancer who's fighting the Dominions, and your suit, or as they consider it as a javelin, you'll have like 4 classes, which is Ranger, Colossus, Storm, and Interceptor. So Jesse, I'm going to ask you, using the Yoshi coin review, where one Yoshi, if you don't if you don't like the whole conference, that you completely hate it, you don't have to give it no Yoshi coins. But 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. Out of the Yoshi coins, what would you give EA's press conference?
I'd probably give it like at least like, I don't know, maybe 3.5. 3.5, 4.
You can't do no half. It gotta be a
Okay,
whole.
well then I'll do 4.
4.
Because like I kind of talked with you guys before, but like I didn't think it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just, like a lot of the games I don't personally care for, but I felt like they did a good job with them. If I was putting myself in the shoes of someone who did like those games and like that was their genre of game, like I don't think they did a bad job with them. They just personally don't do anything for me. But I didn't feel like it was bad. Like I don't know, like there was something, like little hiccups in the thing, but for the most part, I thought they did a pretty decent job. So,
That's fine. 4 out of 5 Yoshi coins. That's fine. Boss man, what would you get it?
Yeah, I'd probably give it about 4 because like I feel like their conference for the most part was efficient. I feel like they got the point across in a lot of things without dragging on too long. I mean, the missteps with the Star Wars Jedi, the whatever that game's called, like not even showing a logo or anything, like the awkward interview, whatever, that takes some points off. And then Command and Conquer on mobile, just kind of like, come on, dude, nobody wants that. So like those kind of take points off. But I thought the Anthem interview was really cool. The gameplay was shown well. Like Jesse said, a lot of the games, like even if I'm not into that style of game, they were showing off well. They were getting the message across. They didn't spend a ton of time on their sports titles, which was great because years past they would spend like a half hour to 40 minutes on their sports titles that nobody really cared about. So I thought this was probably EA's best conference in a long time. So I would give it 4 out of 5.
Okay. And everybody, I'm sorry, I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 Yoshi coins.
You're the worst.
Why? I okay, so I'll give it to Battlefield 5. I'm interested in that. Unravel 2, Sea of Solitude, and Anthem. Great showings. Andrea, she was a great host. I would give it to that. But the sports games, I didn't care about. I don't care about that boy getting up there saying get money and he's get the graduation and all.
That was unnecessary too.
The unraveling of Command & Conquer, didn't nobody know what it was. You did a play of the game and we don't know what's going on because we don't know the game. Then you show the trailer of it.
They should have shown the trailer before the gameplay. You know, like even if like nobody really cared about it, like they should have shown the trailer before the gameplay. That way people knew what the game was. And I don't know if like our stream skipped that part or if it was just like they just messed up, but like to us it looked like they were showing the gameplay of the game without telling us what it was, and then they showed the trailer, and then everybody's like, "Oh, nobody cares about Command & Conquer on phones."
The terrible announcement, the Star Wars Jedi, the tail behind their legs when they try to apologize for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and try to give that marketing speak, that wouldn't fool nobody. You messed up. There's 18,000 stories of what you did wrong, and y'all was up there and you didn't admit that you was trying to really screw the player to make money. So, to me, overall, good conference. I think it's their best conference out of the past E3s. I will give them that. But to me, 2 out of 5 Yoshi coins for it. So, we're going to move on to Bethesda. And we just had their conference. And the games that they showed on there was Rage 2. That will be out on spring 2019. Elder Scrolls Legend, that's coming to Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. You guys can download that now. Elder Scrolls Online, they showed off the Somerset, and that one is available now. Doom Eternal, which is the sequel to Doom. Quake Champions, they have an upgrade of characters. They showed off Prey. They added story mode, new game plus, survival mode, moon crash, and soon typhoon hunter. Most of that you guys can get now, download it now. They showed a little bit or talked a little bit about Wolfenstein Youngblood. That will be out next year, 2019. And they also talked about Wolfenstein Cyberpilot VR and Prey VR. They showed more of Fallout 76. That'll be out November 14th. They announced that Fallout Shelter is coming to PS4 and Switch. And those are out now, so you guys could download them if you want to. They mentioned Elder Scrolls Blades, a new IP, Starfield, and then they ended the show with Elder Scrolls 6. So what was the low point for you, Corey, about this show?
Personally, how long it was with how little they showed off, like that was the low point. But I mean, if we're just talking in terms of games, the low point, all right, no, I'm going to screw it. The low point for me was how long this freaking conference was for 11 things, and how like Todd Howard was basically doing a stand-up act before he was showing off any of the games, which is like, it's fine if you're going to do that for 2 or 3 minutes, but for 20 minutes, you're going to stand there and rattle off jokes like you have your own Netflix special. That's unnecessary. I'm sorry. Their conference last year was 36 minutes. They showed off 12 things. That's what this conference needed to be. I don't really care about their mobile stuff. I don't care about their card games. Like, not that they were shown badly, but those were the low points for me in terms of, like, I just don't care about what you're showing here. And then, like, the MMO stuff is, like, I could care less about the MMO. And again, I'm not trying to talk crap about those games like they're bad or anything. Those are just like games that aren't for me, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Jesse, what was your low? Low.
Yeah, yeah. My low point was in between every game. like honestly, like a lot.
Another low point. That stupid concert at the beginning.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I forgot.
I almost forgot, Corey. Why did you have to remind me?
I was going to excuse the Andrew WK thing. I know he did the thing for Race 2.
Yeah,
but then that was
he did.
all.
No, he did a thing for himself.
And Bethesda thought it was cool, and they're like, "Hey, that looks like it would go well on our new trailer. Can we buy that from you?" He was like, "Sure."
Which you would think that when they're doing the concert thing, they would be showing clips to the game, because he's just like, "Here's a preview of Race 2."
Yeah, it was
the thing dark.
I think up on the screen. I think up on the screen they were showing stuff from Rage, but like
no, they weren't.
No, they were showing like characters and stuff, and like but like for us watching it, we could only see what was going on. There was only little glimpses of what was happening on the screen, but like, yeah, I agree with you though, Ed. Like, like I just like they did a really bad job of trying to keep people interested in the games that they were showing, basically, is a good way to sum it up. Like, the games that they were showing off, I thought were good, but it's just how they did it. It's how they did it that just really wrecked it for me. So yeah. My low point was just their presentation of said games.
Yeah, I agree. I think out of the talks that they were giving, I think the one for the two people who did Prey, I think they did a good job. I would give it to them. And for Wolfenstein Youngblood, I think they were solid too. Like, just those two. Pretty much 85% of this list of games, I just did not care about. And the Fallout, they tried so hard to big up Fallout 76, and it feels like this is Fallout 4 expansion.
Well, that's what it is. This is cut content from Fallout 4. They talked about how like they were playing with this type of stuff to put into Fallout 4, but it wasn't fleshed out well enough in time for them to put it out with that game. So
but they tried to. But it feels bad that they tried to make this as its own game when it feels like a DLC.
Well, I mean, I think it is its own game, though. It's four times bigger. There's quests. There's side quests. It's basically a Fallout game. They just added this multiplayer component on top of it, which seems cool in theory. Like, Jesse, I think you and I could do some squad goal stuff with it. Like, I think that would be cool to go out and do quests and find resources and build stuff together. Because, like, Ed, I know you're not going to play this game at all. Like, I just... but, I don't know. I think what we talked about beforehand, and Jesse, you brought this up about EA, and I totally agreed with you. I think we were talking about it on the Bethesda pre-show, because we didn't really talk about EA all that much. EA's audience, like the games they make are for that specific audience, where like Fallout fans are going to be excited for Fallout. Elder Scrolls fans, there's some crossover obviously, are going to be excited for Elder Scrolls. And then you have like the Doom Wolfenstein crowd, which they're all, the shooter fans are going to be excited for that, and then the horror fans are going to be excited for Evil Within. Like, their audiences are super segmented, just like EA's. Like, okay, the Madden fans are going to buy Madden every year, and they want to know what's happening with Madden. They don't care what's happening with Anthem or Battlefield or Unraveled. They want to know about Madden, right? And so
they don't even care about FIFA.
yeah, it's just like I think Bethesda in a different way suffers from the same problem, where like people who are excited for this specific game are going to be excited for that specific game. They don't care what's going on with the rest of it, and we're in a weird position where like we're always interested in what's happening in the industry, regardless if we're excited about that specific game. You know, we just want to know what Bethesda's working on. Like, how many people really know who, like, out of the 10 million people who bought Fallout 4 and played it, how many of those fans know who Bethesda is and what else they make? And, you know, did they publish, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a very...
They probably have a idea of the developer and the publisher. They probably have an idea of Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, Fallout was a big PC game before it became kind of PC and console in a sense. So the transition right there, I probably wasn't too much. But I get what you're saying, Corey and Jesse. I think the presentation kind of ruins that excitement though. It's like they talk much and then it's a 15-minute clip, a CGI clip, and it's just like that doesn't match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is like with those kind of games like Fallout and stuff, you don't need to over explain things, because the people who are there to see the Fallout games, they know what Fallout is, and they know, you know, they just want to see like what exactly is this game about, like what are you doing, like, you know, where's the story set, things like that. They don't, like, I just feel like they explained stuff, just over explained and over, you know, just talked about things way more than they had to. And the people who are gonna, you know, who want those games, they already know the basics. You know, it doesn't really need to be explained.
But it felt like, definitely with Fallout 76, it's just like I know more about the trailer than I know about the game itself, because you've been showing the same trailer for like the past few days. And it's just like, okay, now it's your chance now to show like actual gameplay. And it's just like, well, that's 10 seconds edited clips.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they did show gameplay, but it's like, yeah, you could have instead showed the gameplay, and you didn't need to show us the trailer that, you know, that was already shown, or, you know, or whatever, you know, like, I think, yeah, that was the big problem with them, is there was just too much presentation of stuff that didn't really need to be shown again. And, you know, just get to the gameplay, or, you know, or the, you know, like what you're bringing new to the franchise, or, you know, like things like that. You just don't need to, you know, like the trailers can be watched online if people need to see those again. It just doesn't need to, you know, happen there. Well,
Jesse, what game do you have just interest in? Like, you might not pick it up, you may pick it up, but you're just interested in it. Hold on from your highlight. Just get into what you see, feel like is interesting.
Probably the Wolfenstein, the new edition,
the young blood,
or whatever. Yeah, I'm curious as to what that's gonna touch on, because it looked like it was gonna be kind of set in the 80s or whatever. I think we figured out, and so like I'm just kind of curious what they're gonna do with that. You know, that whole, you know, time of the, you know, whatever setting. So.
For me, like my interest, I would actually go with Prey. I love when they add a new game plus to a game, and I kind of been on and off on when to pick it up. I kind of been waiting for some price drops for it. So I'll try it probably out. I'll try it now if it goes on once it goes on sale, and I'll pick it up and give Prey a chance. What about you, boss?
I mean, Fallout. Every time there's a new Fallout style game, like, it always interests me, and I'm like, maybe this will be the one I try and get into or whatever. And like 76 looks like it's doing some interesting things outside of the traditional Fallout formula or Skyrim formula or whatever. So I mean, Fallout, is probably my pick. Prey also. Like I've been wanting to play Prey for a while. I just haven't picked it up, just for reasons. So I don't know. Those are probably my two.
All right. For me, my highlight will be Doom Eternal. I just beat Doom this year and like truly enjoyed it, had fun, moving around, shooting everything. And Wolfenstein Youngblood, I'm very interested into. It looks cool. I love 80s. So it looks like it's going to be just like so funny and kind of awesome. What about you, Jesse? What's your highlight or highlights of the show?
Mine definitely was Rage 2. Like, I'm really looking forward to that, and also probably the Fallout game. Like both of those are like because
76.
Yeah, because I'm hoping. Well, I guess that's the thing is I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping that like it seems like it's more of an online game like Skyrim or whatever, or Elder Scrolls Online, and so I'm hoping that it will they'll hopefully keep up with it a little bit more than they do than they did in the past with their games, and
I think
fix things and stuff like that.
I think since it's online only, I think hopefully they give you regular patches and stuff. I mean, because they did say you can play it single player, but I think you just still need to be online to play it.
Yeah.
What about you, Corey?
There's three clear highlights for me. Rage 2 looks really cool. Doom Eternal, like, Doom was such a surprise that a sequel is a no-brainer, I think, for me. Yeah. Like, Doom was cool. And then the Wolfenstein Youngblood stuff looks really cool. It's going to be cool to see that world set in the 80s, like Jesse said. Like, there's not much I can really say about that anymore. Like, I feel like, remember when Blood Dragon came out for Far Cry? That I wonder if this is going to be their take on that. Like, maybe not as extreme as that, but like, oh, here's some neon purples and yellows and blues, and like, here's some alternate takes on, like, similar to what Blade Runner did, here's like our take on like an Atari logo, but if the Nazis made it, or like, you know what I mean? Like, if technology from the 80s was made like the Nazis won the war and you're still fighting them, like, I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
I think like maybe Alien Isolation, remember when that came out and they made such a big deal about like the 80s version of future tech or 70s version of future tech? Like, that's what I kind of envision this being, is like, hey, what if tech evolved like this from the 60s, like the Nazis won, and it's the 80s now, and this is what we've come up with. So,
yeah.
But yeah, those three are the clear winners for me from Bethesda. Like, we didn't even really see anything about Doom Eternal. Like, that's just, more Doom, please, on Switch, please. Mm-hmm. Thanks.
Also, I wonder. I think they should have announced like a Rage remaster.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do that, because it's not backwards compatible either. I wonder if that's like a licensing issue with, like, because id made that game, but I don't think Bethesda published it, because that was before they bought id.
I think, but even if they bought it, when they still have the rights to publish it.
See, I don't know. I don't know. Licensing's really weird, man. I don't know. Maybe they don't have distribution rights. Maybe they're working on like a Rage kind of like, hey, this fall it'll be backwards compatible at some point. And I just remember that game being multiple discs. I don't know, but they have multi-disc things on backwards compatible, so I don't know.
Yeah, I would pick up Rage 2 if I was able to play the original Rage, so I could get a better understanding of it. And I think more people would give that game a chance compared to the first.
I think maybe it's not backwards compatible because they were like, hey, that game was okay, but this is not what we're doing with it this time around. Although I actually liked Rage 1 quite a bit. I thought the driving stuff was really cool, and it just felt rushed and unfinished towards the end. But I remember really liking that game.
Okay. So Jesse, what would you give Bethesda's E3 conference?
I don't know. I'm torn because like
Still
a
on the
lot-
Yoshi scale.
yeah, I know. But
Get your own scale.
I've been trying to think. I've been trying to think of
Jesse coins.
like what I want to give it because like the games were good, but at the same time the presentation was just bad. So I think I'm gonna have to go with a 2 out of 5.
5 Yoshi games? Okay.
Yeah, and it's hard because I want to go 3, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to go 2 though because it just the presentation was just put me off of like most of the stuff, even though I liked and enjoyed what I was seeing for the most part.
Yeah. For me, and then boss, I'm gonna let you go last. No, actually, boss, you go. Go ahead.
All right. It's like a 2. I think they spent too much time on a lot of things and not enough time on other things, like,
Yeah.
and just that last 45 minutes should have been about 15 minutes, man. It was just long. Jeez.
I'll give them one thing. At least they didn't make us wait that whole entire time and then have the Andrew WK thing right at the end.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if they would have made us sit through all that and then be like, "Oh, here's a stupid song for you too."
To show our new exclusive.
Yeah, at least they got that out of the way, I guess, right away.
For me, it's a 1 out of 5 Yoshi coins. This was just like they said, was too long. Majority of the games don't interest me. I'm happy for Rage 2. Rage 2 does look good. I'll give it its props. It does look good. It looks fun to play using that Doom engine. I guess I just wish they would have just made one level, like just connected to show you how connected. Because to me, it was just like the way that you run around and do and shoot up. It feels like it's the same thing in Rage 2, but with more added abilities. So I'll give them that. Wolfenstein Youngbloods looks really good. I'm glad that Switch got some kind of reputation, even though it's a card game. And
my gosh,
the Fallout Shelter.
That was another annoying thing too. Was like, I don't want these mobile ports on Switch, man. Treat the Switch with some sort of like, it's a real machine. And like Bethesda's done a good job. Don't get me wrong. Of like Doom, Wolfenstein 2, Skyrim, like they're doing a good job. But like, don't relegate it to these stupid mobile games, man. Like,
and that was weird because they didn't really announce a lot of the stuff for systems. So I'm assuming we gotta assume definitely PS4, Xbox One. I don't know which ones are gonna be on Switch.
Well, they said Starfield and freaking Elder Scrolls 6 are next generation games, and it's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, this is the first time you're using a new engine on these games? Does this mean that they're going to be for the next Xbox and PlayStation? Like, what does that mean? Like,
because those systems, right? Like PlayStation 5 won't probably be here till like 21, 22.
Yeah, I mean they said probably 3 years, which is kind of what we all expected, right? 20, right. 21, like even like, and I know we're going to touch on this in a little bit, but like, even Xbox touched on the next Xbox when they just launched an Xbox. Like,
right.
That's scary, man. Like, I'm not ready for new consoles.
And One X should be able to run Elder Scrolls 6 before the new game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it probably will. I think it's gonna be similar to what we're dealing with right now. It will be able to run it, but there might be an upgrade from like it'll get to the point where the 1X is the S and next system will be what the 1X is right now.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but like I kind of feel like Xbox is going to start moving the, iPad Apple route where like, hey, you can play your old games on this, but they're going to look better on this machine. And then at some point, they're going to fade out the old machines. And, at maybe in 3 to 5 years, the Xbox One X will be the base model, and then the next Xbox, whatever it's called, will just be the powerful box, and then they'll just keep moving that direction, and then they'll, so I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't want to spend too much time on that because we got more important things to talk about right now than games 3 years from now.
Yes, because we're about to get into the meat of today's conference. This is Sunday that we're recording this.
Can I just say, it was the most perfect conference I think I've seen from Microsoft until they announced Gears Pop.
Yes.
It loses a Yoshi coin for me for that announcement alone.
We would get to that.
That's nope.
We would get to that. So everybody, Microsoft had their conference today, and they announced 50 games. 15 were worldwide premieres. 18 of them, I think, was exclusive. But before we get into all the games, there was the ID Xbox. I just want to get that out of the way. So if you guys do want to check it out, they just did a quick blow through of them. The games that were announced from it was Outwilds, After Party, Kingdom 2 Crowns, the Golf Club 2019, featuring PGA, Warhammer, Vermintide, French Wars, Below, Conqueror's Blade, Waking, Raji, Super Meat Boy Forever, Planet Alpha, Islands of Nine, Battle Royale, Sable, Hero Halibut, a handmade adventure game, Bomber Crew, Children of Morta, The Wind Road, War Groove, Generation Zero, Dead Cells, and they ended up the last one with Ashen. Also, they announced Battletoads coming in 2019 next year. That game is going to be 2D 2.5D hand-drawn game, 4K. You could do 3-player couch co-op on it, and they're going to be a mashup of different genres, like the old one. So they'll probably have beat 'em up and then vehicles that you could use, and maybe some other things. But I just wanted to get those out of the way because we have a lot to actually cover. So we're going to start out with the first 3 games. They announced Halo Infinite. They started out the show with that. They announced that this will be running on the Slit Space engine. I believe that's 343's new engine.
Mm-hmm.
They also showed off Ori Will of the Wisps. That will be out 2019. And after that they went to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. This is a game that's going to be from Software and published by Activision. That will be coming in 2019. That one is almost a samurai game. So just want to go on those 3. We're going to start with Halo Infinite. Me and Corey was lost because first I was just like, this is like Star Wars in a sense, but we were still trying to guess what the world it was.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched that trailer 6 times already, and it's that. So what we can gather from the information that has been provided by sources like Game Informer and GameSpot, and it's Master Chief's next adventure, but it's not Halo 6. So for me, this means that I bet it's a co-op game. I mean, it's going to be a co-op game. It's Halo, but I think it's going to be co-op centric, and I think, I think that it's going to be kind of like a makeup for Halo 5. I think it's going to be we understand we messed up with Halo 5, but we want to make sure we give you the Master Chief campaign you deserved, so this is what that's going to be.
Is Halo Reach and ODST those are side games,
mm-hmm.
but they play like regular Halo games, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Can you envision that for this Halo Infinite and somehow connect it to Halo 6?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like Halo 5.5 pretty much. I think,
mm-hmm.
But I mean, we don't have a lot of information on it yet either. So I'm still thinking there's going to be a quote unquote Destiny aspect to it, where like
that's
you'll
what I agree
you'll
with.
have repeatable missions that you can do to maybe like a score based arcade style thing, or you go in and get better weapons and better attachments and stuff for use on future missions. Like, I still think there's going to be that light games as a service aspect to it, and then like a really awesome multiplayer suite, that Halo's known for. But like, the name Infinite tells me that there's going to be some sort of loop that you're going to play with your friends. Yeah. Like, you're going to go to this planet, you're going to do a Destiny style strike, or there's something to that. And I don't know if you're playing alongside Master Chief or if you are Master Chief and Blue Team. Like, I don't know what that looks like, but I feel like whatever you do in Halo Infinite, which is I'm sure going to be their games as a service thing, will lead somehow into Halo 6. And maybe some stuff carries over.
And I think if they don't talk about anything more about this, hopefully in the future, I would say maybe September or October, inside Xbox, they will like highlight that this is what we're talking about and showing you actual gameplay, so people get an idea. Hope they do something for this year that we get more information. Jesse, your thoughts about Halo Infinite?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see what exact is. I have to agree with Corey that like that's the kind of the first thought I had, is that it was going to be something like similar to like Destiny, like maybe more along the lines of ODST was, like where it's more like horde based and like just kind of a different, like it'll feel like Halo, but it's not gonna be the traditional just like running through the map and like getting to point B or whatever, and more of like a multiplayer based type, a little bit more adventurous I guess.
And so, was the graphics that they, or the trailer that they showed, I wonder was it running on that engine, because the game looks beautiful.
Yeah, the trailer looks amazing. I wonder, like, that looked like a Blur trailer to me. Like, Blur did the cutscenes. Like, not that Halo isn't a great looking game or a bad looking game or anything, but like, I've never seen Halo look that good, and I'm wondering if that's just a Blur cutscene, and then like maybe it'll transition into gameplay and it'll be seamless, but you'll still notice a difference between gameplay and cutscene. So. But I'm happy they're taking Halo seriously, and Master Chief specifically taking him serious, because like that character is so iconic. I don't care what anybody says, if he's dumb or quiet or he has no personality or anything. That character is important to gaming. That character is as important to Xbox as Mario is to Nintendo. I'm sorry, that's just how it is, And if Halo suffers, Xbox suffers, and I'm glad they're kind of like taking it super seriously and being like, look, we know you want a Master Chief game, and here it is.
Halo is so iconic because the regenerating health. That was a big thing for first-person shooters, and the multiplayer people still play to this very day. I know for me it's a day one purchase. What about you guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I have Game Pass, so I'll probably get it through that, but if I didn't have it, I would be getting it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get it day one, definitely, and like a lot of people are in different situations, but like if I have the money to buy it day one, I will buy it, and like I'll download it off Game Pass day one anyway. But like, just to have a physical copy of Halo games, like I still have physical copies of my Halo games, because like I've gone all digital for the most part, but like games that have been important in my life, I have physical copies of. So Halo has always been one of those where I'm like, I like Halo, so I'm gonna have it on my shelf.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to Ori, Will of the Wisp. It's still in the 2D style. It looks beautiful. It looks like you'll be able to have a companion at you with times, which is this owl that lost his parents. it when me and Corey was watching it, you probably heard us, Jesse. It feels like Donkey Kong. It has a Donkey Kong aesthetic to it.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
parts. I'm excited for this game. I really am. I just hope that they really fix a lot of the problems that I had for it. Like they balance the difficulty and some of the attack patterns look like they fix it. Because I would love for Ori to be using that sword for like melee attacks. Because his electricity one just didn't feel right. And it kind of felt off at times because some of the stuff like the jumps and stuff, it blended in with the background, so it was actually hard to see what you was doing from colorized. So it looks like they fixed a lot of that in this game. Your guys' thoughts, Jesse? What do you think?
For me, like I've never really gotten a chance yet to play the first one. I do want to get it eventually, because it is like my type of platforming game. I think like I like the little bit more like flashier stuff, more modern, graphics and stuff like that. And I actually think though that this one interests me even more than the first one. So just just going by the trailer anyway. So
all right. And what about you, Corey?
No, I mean, I haven't played the first one. I'll check it out. I'm interested in it, but like, I don't know. I feel like I need to play the first one first. It's interesting. I'm glad that this game exists. I just haven't really had the time or like just to go out of my way and play it yet. I just haven't. But I mean, I'm glad it exists. I'm glad that like this game is getting love, so.
Yes. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Corey reminded me that this game was shown at the Game Awards. I completely forgot all about it, dude. Literally, I was like, "Oh my goodness, they did." That's how.
I think as Xbox players, we just assumed it was going to be a PlayStation game because From Software has such a great connection with PlayStation, through Demon's Souls, and then Dark Souls is widely considered associated with PlayStation, and Bloodborne is an amazing PlayStation exclusive. And I think as Xbox gamers, we just assumed that this game was going to show up at PlayStation, and for it to come out on the Xbox stage and show and shine like that impressed me.
Yeah, it's right up my alley. I love like samurai action games. Corey mentioned Onimusha, and I was about to be like, "Oh, if they bring this back, it's on and pop."
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was Onimusha at first.
Right. But yeah, that was a big surprise to me. It looks more like an action adventure game, with the foundation being like a Souls game, like the design of. Your thoughts, Jesse, about it?
Yeah, like to me, it felt like it was like a samurai game, like almost like an Assassin's Creed game. I'm normally like, I do like some samurai stuff, I think I prefer like maybe movies and stuff like that more. Like I've never really honestly got too much into samurai like games per se. Like, I mean, like I used to like Strider and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, this game like really, really piqued my interest. Like it really looks like an amazing game, and I'm glad that we're getting it on Xbox. Because yeah, it is the type of game that you'd typically like expect Sony to do. But I feel like for a change, like it's a game in that genre that I actually am interested in. So
yeah. Do any of you guys feel like a day one, wait for a sale, or wait for Game Pass or something down the road for Ori and the Blind Forest? Ori and the Will of the Wisp, or Sekiro. I think Sekiro, I'm gonna wait. I think till I see more of it. But like Ori, I'll probably do a day one. just so I could, since I beat the first one, just to see how it runs. But Sekiro, I will wait.
Yeah, same. I mean, look, I know Moose and Matt are probably going to eat it all up because it's a From Software game and the NGP guys. So like, I'll wait and see how they feel about it, and then if they tell me to play it, I'll be like, sure, and then I'll wait a while.
What about you, Jesse?
Yeah, I think if like as long as money permits, I would definitely like to get it day one.
Day one, okay. For Ori or for Sekiro?
Sekiro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, we're gonna get into the next 3 games. Fallout 76 and Fallout 4 is Fallout 4 now is on Game Pass. So if you guys want to play it, you can download it. We kind of talked about Fallout 76, but if you guys want to pre-order that game, it starts June 15th. Captain Spirit is a game that's in the Life is Strange universe. It's a free download now. And you have up to June 26th to actually download that game. I think the big one that we're going to really focus on and talk about is Crackdown 3. This game is going to come on February 2019, and the graphic has kind of been overhauled. And when we talk about Nintendo using their delays for their games, and it comes just like phenomenal, get all this praise and stuff, whether people like it or not, they did the same thing with Crackdown 3. This game looks mind-blowing good. Like, we all were just like, yeah, Squad Goals this. Like without a doubt, this is day one purchase for me. I would be at Target buying this game. I gotta have my physicals. So,
well, do you want me to
go ahead,
go right
Jesse.
away? Yeah, like seriously, like this gives me like completely like Saints Row vibes. Like
the comedy,
like,
dude.
yeah,
the comedy
like
is gonna be like,
yeah.
This looks like what Agents of Mayhem wanted to be, and never got to it.
Yeah, like if Agents of Mayhem like had like a little bit better of a like a budget or something, or like or if they had the ability to get like some like well-known actor to do it, do a character or something like that, because like like I'm glad that with Agents of Mayhem that have tried something different, instead of just doing basically like a Saints Row game and then just like reskinning it or something like that. I'm kind of glad, I'm glad they tried something different, but at the same time, like I do like that game and I do want to play that game more, but yeah, like Crackdown 3 is definitely like more in my kind of game type, as far as the way it looks so far anyways. So
boss, what foolishness are you planning to do in that game?
I mean, I just want to blow stuff up and play it. Like, I like the original Crackdown. I mean, I bought it. I think like a lot of people, bought it for the Halo 3 beta and realized that Crackdown was actually a pretty decent game. So like, I mean, that's how I played it, and it was awesome. So I mean, if this the graphics, like the way they just kind of combine let's take the Terry Crews character model for a second, right? Like the way they combine like the realism of Terry Crews mixed with that comic book art style, just it looks phenomenal. And like, look, I'm glad that they delayed this game. I'm glad that they hey, it was supposed to come out in November, weren't gonna make it. We heard you. We're taking 15 months to restructure this game, to overhaul this game. We heard you. We want to give you a game that we can deliver on. And I think they're going to do it. I bet Crackdown comes out and it is just an awesome good time.
Yeah. I think someone probably, if not yet, someone's already doing a comparison trailer showing how the game looks.
I'm sure they're already up.
And now. Yeah. Yeah, the game looks phenomenal. Wow, great job, Microsoft. when you
Yeah,
when you delay a game and you put in work, you guys
Yeah.
really put in work.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. I mean, I was kind of interested in the game originally, but
Mhm.
like with that last trailer that they kind of showed and stuff, I kind of lost a little bit of the interest in it, and this brought that interest right back. So
It still looked rough at some spots with
yeah,
that one. So, well, we're gonna get into the next one. You guys probably gonna get a day one Game Pass. I'm assuming for you, Desi, and me, for it. But the next three games, Nier Automata is coming to Xbox One on June 26th. Metro Exodus is going to be arriving on February 22nd, 2019. And Kingdom Hearts 3, they showed off some new lands for that and gameplay. And one of the songs that everybody was looking forward to for Utada was Don't Think Twice. I believe that's going to be the theme song from this game.
Mhm.
So any thoughts on those three games? I'm glad that Nier Automata is coming. That's a great platinum game.
I've been waiting because there was a rumor back in February that this game was rated for Xbox, and we never really talked about it because everyone's like, "Oh, whatever, that game's not really coming to Xbox." But I think I'm going to try it now. I think Nier and Kingdom Hearts is the big one for me. You guys both know how big of a Disney fan I am, and I was really hoping they were going to announce the collection after that trailer for Xbox. Because, like, what if you only own an Xbox and you've never played any of the other games? I've played almost all the games and I'm lost, right? I'm just like, whatever. Like, how are you going to jump into this game? Like, I don't know. I thought for sure they were going to announce the collection and they just didn't. Maybe at the Square conference they'll announce the collection for Switch and Xbox. Maybe that's what they're waiting for. Because Square's got to fill 45 minutes tomorrow, right? And I don't think they have 45 minutes worth of games to show off.
And Corey, I would love for you, when you get your 4K TV, if you decide to get this game, I would love to see this running on Xbox One X.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like with this style and how colorful it is.
Mm-hmm. The technology is so advanced now.
Before you say anything, I'm taking a train to Cleveland, and you better come pick me up when Halo Infinite come out if you got that 4K TV with your Xbox One, because I want to see that in motion. Anthem, Anthem, I could wait for that. That Halo 1 Infinite, need to be in living color to see that. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, the technology in these consoles are so far enough in that, like, the games look like the freaking movies now. Like, you could have shown that screenshot of Frozen and shown it to anybody and been like, oh yeah, that's definitely from the movie, and it's not. It's the game. Like, this is the game. Like, they showed off Wreck-It Ralph, they showed off Monsters Inc., they showed off Frozen. Big Hero 6 is in there somewhere. I don't know if they really show that off. Toy Story, like. These are the movies that you want to see come to life in video games, and they're doing it, and it looks awesome. So I'm gonna have to get some Kingdom Hearts recap stuff going on, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, I probably won't get it for Xbox because I have most of the series on PlayStation 4. That's the PlayStation series.
I've been holding off. I've been holding off on the collections because, like, I'm like, if this game's if 3's coming to Xbox, they have to have some sort of collection for the Xbox. And, like, I've been real hesitant on getting the remasters for PlayStation because I'm like, I want them on Xbox, because I'm going to get 3 on Xbox. And it's like, I'm just hoping that, by the time this video goes up, that the Square conference will have happened probably, or real close to that, and like I really want them to show that the collection off on Xbox or Switch. Like, I would take it on either,
Yeah. What about you, Jesse? Nier Automata, Metro Exodus, or Kingdom Hearts 3? Any thoughts on those three games?
Yeah, Metro. I'm definitely looking forward to that game. That game looks so amazing.
Me and Corey was trying to figure that out. Oh yeah, everybody go check out season 2 of Pod and Play and watch me and Corey figure out what the world what that game was. We were just like, what are we supposed to be doing? We lost. Well, go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, and then near I'm glad coming to Xbox. I probably will try it. I don't really know for sure if that's gonna be my type of game, but
it's the definitive edition to everybody, and it's $10 cheaper, so it is $50. So,
and then Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I played I think the first and the second one, but I haven't played like any of the offshoots or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
there's a couple of offshoot games, isn't there? Like 2 of them.
Shoot, no, there's like 8 of them.
Oh, is there really?
Kingdom Hearts? You're talking about Kingdom Hearts? There's
like the offshoot.
There's Chain of Memories, 358 over 2 days, Birth by Sleep, Unchained, Dream Drop Distance, Remix, or the DS one, and then there's a couple mobile games, and then there's
PSP.
And then in Birth by Sleep. And then in the HD collection, there's a new game in the HD collection, which is like 0.2 Redux or something. And then there's a whole nother prequel game that came out after that, 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue.
Right.
Okay. So there's like 12 Kingdom Hearts games.
Because I think, was it 2.8 like the international, or that's just 2.5? The 2.5 is the international version.
Yeah, 1.5 and 2.5 are the updated international versions of those games.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's cool boss fights and stuff.
Yeah, I finished most of the first one, and I only played a little bit of the second one.
The second one is really good.
Yeah, I want to say my friend I forget where I played because I don't think I actually owned it. Mm-hmm. I just know I played the second one because I remember that cover art is like all shiny and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For the second one. But yeah, I mean it's something that I'm interested in. My problem is like a lot of the times those type of games like the Final Fantasy games and stuff like that. Like I love them, but they're kind of those games that I don't really necessarily love playing as much as I love like watching someone play them. So
okay,
but
it's
interesting. It looks good though.
Yeah, we're gonna get it onto our next 3: Sea of Thieves Cursed Sails and Sea of Thieves Forsaken Shores. These are 2 new DLC contents that's coming to the game. Cursed Sails is coming in July, and Forsaken Shores is coming in September. They didn't give us no dates, but Cursed Sails would be the first DLC right after this latest one that just came out. They also showed a little bit about Battlefield 5, which was weird because I thought they was going to show more, but they really didn't. And Forza Horizon 4, this game now is designed as the whole community is in the game that you're raced against and play.
That's insane. That's insane.
It's going to seasons. It's taking place in Britain, and it will be out on October 2nd with Game Pass. And this game will also be available for Windows 10. This game looks beautiful, but yeah, having all those players and stuff, like I don't know how the races are going to go. Like if you have to be with people to do a race, or like they just kind of like mix you up and match it and stuff. I don't know how winnings are going to go. There's going to be more details, but they got a ton of vehicles. The seasons are affecting the land, so if you're by a lake and it's winter time, it freezes the lake. And like if it's autumn, you probably would get a lot of wind. Forza Horizon 4. Me and Corey said, Corey got the whole game right. I just got the title right. So yes. But I can't say much about Cursed Sales or Forsaken Shores. The trailer was funny, but there's not enough content to understand which was which. Because I don't know if what they showed when she was telling the story represents both of them or represents one of each. In Battlefield 5, we already talked about it, EA. So Jesse, thoughts about Sea of Thieves for you? Because I know you're a major player in that.
Yeah, the Sea of Thieves. I'm glad that they're getting more stuff, and like they basically they've said that like once that like even before the game was shipped out, they were already working on a lot of this stuff that we're hearing about and seeing, and like some of these things that they've added to the game already. Like they've been busting their butt to try to make more and more stuff to add to it, and I'm just glad that it seems to be moving along pretty quickly. And
it feels like Splatoon in a sense. Yeah. Like it felt basic, but like almost every month or sometimes throughout the Nintendo Direct or whatever, there was updating and adding a new weapon, and they were just adding more content and let it be until they actually ended.
Yeah,
for it.
Yeah, it's like because of the game type that it is, it's like because it's so online based and stuff. Like it. Like you see this a lot, like where you've basically that initial release of the game is basically that's like the foundation that they have to create to build on, and so they gave us that the finished game, what they had, and now they're adding more stuff to it, and it's just gonna have more and more stuff over time to look forward to, and I think they're doing a great job of keeping up with that and getting stuff out as soon as they can. So I'm super excited, and I think they're doing a great job with it so far.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's paid DLC, or at the moment they haven't announced anything else by that. So I'm assuming probably they'll have more stories out for it, or Inside Xbox might say something for it. But Corey, Forza Horizon 4, your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think Forza is just like the top tier racing game. Like it doesn't matter if you're doing simulation or arcadey style. Like I just think Forza is always great. So like, it looks cool. I'll check it out definitely. I don't really have anything else to say. I just think it looks really cool. I like the season stuff.
Yeah, and I liked that sweet, like they show the car jumping over that big, like massive canyon.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and like I like how like a lot of this stuff is like almost very similar to like a Battlefield game where everything's kind of destructible. Like they had they showed like after it landed there was like a stone wall that was like made, and it like just breaks through it, and you can see it all crumble apart as it smashes through it. Yeah, that game just looks so good. Yes. I'm excited to play that.
So around this time they kind of took a break to announce 5 new developers that they acquired, and I'm going to save a big one for last. But they introduced the Initiative. This is a company that's going to be in Santa Monica. We don't know what games that they're making, but it's a new team. Happy for them. They picked up Undead Labs also, the creators of the zombie game. I cannot think of it.
State of Decay 2.
State of Decay. The State of Decay series. I had a brain fart right there. Playground Games. They are the developers of Horizon Zero Dawn. They picked them up also. Compulsion.
No. They're the creators of Horizon, Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon. I had said Horizon Zero Dawn.
Wow. I was like, what?
Thank you for the correction.
That would have been massive.
Exactly. Compulsion Games. They are the creators of We Happy Few, which I said will be coming out in August August 10th. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about that game.
It looks
I know
interesting.
it yeah. Um,
Yeah, like I played the beta of it,
uh-huh.
or well, it's the like yeah, it's like
It's a beta.
basically yeah.
Yeah, because I
So
think I think August 10th might be the actual game, the
or
actual
yeah,
release.
actually it would have been technically I played the alpha because it's like it's basically it's in the like the same way that PUBG was, where it's not quite finished, it's still being made, but you're getting to play it while they're still technically making it. So
Didn't you have to pay for the alpha for the beta? Wasn't there like a pay?
yeah,
It's
pay
yeah,
it's through the preview program.
yeah, it's in the
Oh,
preview
okay.
program, but any game in the preview program through Microsoft, you can play for 2 hours for free.
But if you want to play a lot of it, you
Yeah,
have to
then
buy
you
the
have.
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can play the full game, like what there is, whatever you can do in the 2 hours. But like
But they
I enjoyed like the beginning of it.
Hmm.
Like I had kind of talked about this a while back on one of the episodes of Arsenal X, but like it like I really enjoyed like the beginning parts, but once you got to the outside, it like you got out of like the underground or whatever you were in,
yeah.
it kind of got a little weird for me, and I just didn't enjoy it as much. Like you'd be, I don't know, it's like you had to like try to sneak around or something. You couldn't let the people in the town see you, or otherwise they would chase after you.
Right, because you
It
don't
was-
have the white face. You
yeah,
don't have the happy.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
But the big announcement that probably just blew everybody away, they have acquired Ninja Theory, the creators of, or developers, I should say, of Heavenly Sword, Enslave, DMC, Devil May Cry, and Hellblade for PS4 and Xbox One. Wow.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big get for them. Like, I mean, I think, Phil Spencer and the Xbox leadership team have an eye for talent, and they've
Yes.
started going after the talent. They've made a huge investment in this lineup of studios, and like you look at their lineup, it's a strong lineup. Playground, Turn 10, Coalition, Rare, 343, and now Ninja Theory and all these other companies that they just bought up today. Like, man, or not. I mean, bought up a while ago, but announced today. Like, man, that and Ninja Theory is like, they're a top tier developer, man. And if you haven't played their games, like, you should definitely check out, especially current gen wise, like DMC Definitive Edition and Hellblade. Like, those are some impactful games.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
well, it's the craziest thing about this too. Like like as excited and like mind blowing it was for them to do, get Ninja Theory.
Uh,
Like the crazy thing is we have no idea what we could be getting from the initiative. Like we have no idea like what they're capable of. So
the plan is for them to deliver a story driven game almost
Yeah.
on the same line like Horizon.
yeah.
Not so much
Okay.
God of War, but I think
Yeah,
more
they
open
said
world.
they
Like
said they
Horizon.
wanted.
Is that what
Phil Spencer
is
said
that what that is?
earlier. They when they said they're gonna open a new Santa Monica studio, probably 2 months ago, I think. They
Yeah.
kind of announced this project, and they're like they want to deliver quadruple A games, and they are looking for their Horizon Zero Dawn. They're looking for their next big, story driven, intricate franchise that they want to build in, and it's probably going to be open world, single player driven, because that's the one thing Xbox is missing, is that big single player AAA experience. And like,
Yeah.
you could say Halo is that, but it's always co-op. It's always got that multiplayer suite. They're missing their Horizon, their God of War. So I can't wait to see what it is, especially if they're gonna start acquiring talent from all over the world for that studio.
Well, well, yeah, and I mean now, like now they potentially will have two companies that can bring those hard hitting single player with Ninja Theory.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they make another even another like Hellblade or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's exciting, man. I cannot wait to see what we have in store.
I know.
Right. I think that would definitely be one of the highlights people would take away from this E3 after everything is said and done.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna go into the next 3 games. PUBG. They showed off some new areas. Erangel, Miramar, and Sandhawk is coming in summer 2018, and there's also a winter kind of level coming at the end of this year. You will be able to have new vehicles like Jeeps, motorcycles, and buggies. They're adding a war mode, and one of the newest weapons or equipment that you can have is a new shield. So if you think of Rainbow Six Siege, how it has the shield thing, it kind of has that kind of feel to it for this game. After that, they showed off Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. That's coming in winter 2018. But that game is also coming to Switch and PS4. And then they went into a big gameplay trailer of The Division 2. That game will be out in March 15, 2019. This game is going to be taking place in Washington, D.C., and it'll be powered by the Snowdrop engine. And it sounds like there's some shady stuff going in within The Division. Any thoughts about those games?
I mean,
I have.
I was gonna say we already know.
Okay.
We already know about PUBG. Like we play that game already, right? It's like, okay, new maps, new weapons, new vehicle stuff. We knew that was coming. Tales of Vesperia is interesting because that was already a PlayStation or a Xbox exclusive Tales game for 360. And now it's coming to everything, which is exciting because like that game, I think for me personally, if I was gonna get it, be a Switch game.
Same here.
And then the Division 2, for me, it's more Division. I think it looks really cool. I think Washington D.C. is a really cool setting for it. Not the setting I was expecting at all, honestly. But it's cool that we're going there, and yeah, I think the Division 2 looks really cool.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be taking place the same time as the Division when it's happening, or it sounds like 6 months after. So it sounds like after the original Division, the story picks up because that one man, he got away. So I wonder if it's going to be in if he's going to be in the Division 2. What about you, Jesse? Any thoughts?
Yeah, with Division 2, I'm excited. I feel like what they might have done is like they maybe with the Wildlands they were kind of testing some stuff, and I don't think that this game is necessarily going to have like wide open like areas kind of like Wildlands where it's just all like jungle or anything, like because I think that the video thing, the clips that they played were kind of deceiving, because I think what it looked like is I think they were just in like a large greenhouse, like a large scale greenhouse type area.
It looked like a jungle.
Yeah, but I think it was like just a big greenhouse area, trying to think of what that place is called. There's a place in Illinois by you that I went to, is like the Botanical Garden. Yeah, I think that's what that ended up being, was just something like that, but it was all run down, and like, because you could see in the background like almost like a glass encasing area, like it was all encased in like a big glass area, like a big greenhouse. And so I think that's gonna be like a unique way for you to kind of be in different kinds of settings in the game, but I think for the initially it will still be in more of like a lot of like large size city areas and stuff as well. but I think they're gonna kind of expand and like give you different kinds of feeling, instead of it just being a rundown city like it was in the first one. So
I'm definitely picking up Tales of Vesperia for Switch. I have no opinion about PUBG. The Division 2 is a day one purchase for me. Anything else from you guys about that? Because quickly, Game Pass Fast Start is going to be in the June update that's coming to Xbox, so you guys can check that out.
Still don't understand what that is.
I'm pretty sure. I think I have it figured out. I think what it is basically is you still are downloading the full games, but I think it's gonna be kind of like the PlayStation Now is, where you like once you start downloading the game, you'll be able to play the game while it's still downloading, but you're gonna be streaming it until it's actually fully downloaded, if that makes sense. Like instead of having to wait for it to fully download,
the whole game is in cloud.
Yeah, that you'll be playing it like it's PS Now, but only temporarily until the game is fully downloaded onto your system.
You're probably right.
I think that's what it is they're trying to get to the point of, you want to try this game? Here, you can play it right now while it's downloading.
Well, we shall see.
That's what it is.
We'll see in the future. So I'm gonna get to the next 3 games real quick. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is coming out September 14th. Session is Microsoft's like skateboarding game. We thought it was Skate 4, but it was not. It still looks cool. We don't know who the rapper was, but it looks really fun to play. And Black Desert, they kind of introduced what the story's about. I guess you'll be fighting a character named Al Lesra, and the beta begins on fall 2018. So if you guys want to register now, you can go ahead. Black Desert looks interesting to me. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, there's nothing else that needs to be said. It's a day one purchase for me. Session looked cool. It looks interesting, and I think it's going to sell big because there's not a Skate 4.
I think they're doing it because people want Skate 4 so bad that somebody was just like, look, we're just going to make Skate 4, but not call it Skate,
Yeah.
So. And the Tony Hawk game sucks.
Yeah.
Any thoughts about those games, guys? Or
no, honestly, I've been waiting for like a really good skateboarding game again, because I did, I was definitely a Tony Hawk skating game, fan. Like I used to play all of those like all the time. And yeah, after seeing that the newest Tony Hawk game, it like really makes me sad. And I'm hoping that this will be a good replacement for everyone.
Well, we're gonna move on then. They showed off Devil May Cry 5. Delish Last Course for Cuphead DLC. That'll be in 2019. They introduced a new character, Miss Chalice, and Tunic, which is kind of a 3D Legend of Zelda inspired game. You play a fox who finds a sword and goes on this grand adventure. Delish Last Course is definitely something for me because I love Cuphead. Devil May Cry 5 is a big if. I know a lot of fans are happy, but you're controlling Nero, and I just have doubts about this game. So, and Tunic looks fun. If they could get the gameplay right, I think it would be a hit, or an inspirational successor to The Legend of Zelda, or showing it adoration or admiring, I should say. Any thoughts for those games for you guys?
Yeah, for me, Tunic looks like so much fun. I was pretty excited about that. And DMC, yeah, to me personally, it looks better than the last couple have to me. I really didn't have any interest in the other ones, but this one actually looked kind of fun. I still am a DMC fan. I'd rather have that one, but yeah.
Yeah, same. I mean, I would have rather had DMC 2 instead of Devil May Cry 5. But it's
flashy.
fine. Look, it's fine. I mean, I think if it's what fans want, I think, all three of us are clearly in the minority of which series we wanted to move forward, and I think the acquisition of Ninja Theory from Microsoft also kind of puts DMC 2 even further away, if at all, so
Yeah.
I think if it's what fans want, it was a cool trailer. It's a cool looking game. I have zero interest in playing Devil May Cry 5. Like I just really don't. But the Cuphead DLC looks cool and Tunic looks interesting enough. The Cuphead DLC out of those three options you just gave us is the highlight of those three for sure.
Yeah. So our next three games is Jump Force Bandai. Jump Force. This game is from Bandai Namco, 2019. That it'll be released. They also showed off Dying Light 2. It's more of an open world where you get to choose on how you want the world and the town to be. So you could do a good thing or a bad thing, and it affects every decision you make affects your town. And they showed off Just Cause 4. It looks a little bit darker, and this game will be out of December 4th. To me, Jump Force looks like a mix of Smash Brothers with the Shonen Jump series together. I know, Jesse, you're liking it. I have Dying Light. I need to finish it. And I also need to finish Just Cause 3 because I kind of lost interest in that game. It felt directionless at times. But I think I need to hop back into it and give it a fair shot. Corey, any thoughts?
Not really. Sorry, I was doing something. I mean, Dying Light looks
that's
cool.
Fine.
I knew that's what it was from the start, and so yeah.
Yeah, and I think Dead Island 2, is it canceled? Did it get canceled?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Dead Island 2. It's not the same developer, so
Yeah, Techland.
Techland wasn't doing Dead Island 2 from the get-go. No, they were not.
It showed
I promise you
Techland.
they weren't. I promise you they weren't.
It showed Techland. They was doing.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now.
This. While he's looking it up, thoughts, Jesse, because I know you probably have a lot
Developer
of thoughts about
Sumo Digital. Publisher Deep Silver. Dead Island 2. Hello?
I thought it was Techland.
I just looked it up, dude. I promise you it was Sumo
For
Digital.
Dead Island 2? For the first Dead Island?
Dead Island 2 is being developed by Sumo Digital and published by Deep Silver.
But Sumo Digital is doing Crackdown 3.
Okay.
Oh,
let's move on.
I understand.
I'm sorry. Let's just move on.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Dying Light. Like I played the first one and I just kind of lost interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the problem is it's kind of like that whole Witcher 3 thing all over again, where I felt like it was just gonna take too much time, and like even when I was playing it, like I was would forget what I did last and be confused as where I needed to go and what I needed to do, and I just kind of just lost interest in it. But I mean, it was it's a good game, and I think they did a lot of things, really well. But I don't know, that game, it looks cool, and I think it looks better than the first one, but I'm just not really going to be interested in it, I don't think. And then I forget what else was it. Oh, the Jump Force. That looked really interesting. Yeah, like what it looked like to me was it looked, the old, like it looked more like the old school Dragon Ball Z games, like fighting game where you kind of like a lot moving around, you know, around the map, and you know, kind of like the Naruto game, you know, that you've been playing and stuff too as well. You know, it
I need
felt
to get back and finish.
it looks a little bit more floaty though, like the original Dragon Ball Z games, where you could like kind of like, I don't know, that, or maybe it was just the way they had a lot of the jumping up in the air to do their moves type of thing. But
yeah,
yeah, it looks really interesting. I'm curious to see, you know, how it looks, and like part of me really wants to like play it and get really good at it so I can play as Naruto and just beat up on all the Dragon Ball Z characters.
that's a shame.
Dragon Ball Z sucks. But yeah,
Ash, I thought that was a Dragon Ball Z that was hanging in the back. I forgot that's Naruto. That's in your house.
no, I've tried to get into Dragon Ball Z, and it just was the most boring.
Just for everybody to know, Bossman has tuned out because we talked about anime, so we're gonna move on from that. Just Cause 4 thoughts. Essie?
Oh, I'm definitely excited for this. I've gotten every single Just Cause game, and I just absolutely love them. They're, you know, lots of fun. Any game like that where I can just screw around and just go off and don't have to worry about the story mode and just enjoy blowing things up. The more of those, the better I am. So.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into our last 4 games. I'm going to skip 2 of them, but I am going to announce them. Gears Pop, that's for a mobile, and Gears Tactics looks like a cool tactical game. They will have a story mode for it. But the 2 big games that they did show was Gears 5. This one you'll be playing as Kate. And this is coming out 2019. They showed some gameplay, and you're still trying to figure out what the story is. We don't know who died. I think it's the old man in Gears 4. And spoilers, everybody, if you haven't played it. There was an old man that was part of
Oscar?
The town. Yeah, Oscar.
Well, like
because at the end he cut himself out.
Yeah, but I don't know why they would save him just to like kill him again.
Well, he was lost, and he was just like, "Where's everybody at?" So I don't know when they get to him. I don't know if they killed him off or anything.
Yeah,
because they never revealed who it was. So that's just my thought. Yeah. So that's Gears in the show with Cyberpunk 2077. They just showed like a trailer, give you an idea of how the game is going to. What the game could be, because everything was CGI. They don't actually give you any gameplay. I'm really excited for Gears 5, not so much Cyberpunk 2077. Gear Tactics looks good. I probably would give that a run, give that a try. Jesse, any thoughts?
Yeah, all of them. I want them all.
Okay. Corey?
I mean, Gears 5 is obviously the most interesting thing to me. Cyberpunk looks okay. I mean, I'll see it. It's not like a day oneer for me. You know, I think the setting's interesting. I think it's going to be kind of it's going to be a big game, right? I mean, if The Witcher 3 has anything to say about it, and this is bigger than The Witcher, so like I think that this game is going to be big. I will check it out. It's not a day one purchase for me, but it's definitely one of those games that I'll be checking out. Gears 5 though is the purchase, is the game of the show for me, or of the conference. I think I love Gears of War so much, and the fact that you skipped over Gears Tactics makes me real sad, because that's even more interesting to me that they can put that in there.
I did say
no. I know you just said that you're gonna skip over Tactics and Gears Pop, which is an abomination of the Gears franchise. Nobody support Gears Pop.
There wasn't just not a lot of
I
information
know.
for Gears Tactics.
I know.
But I am interested in the story, and I'll give that. It looks fitting. Like that game works with the Gears of War style.
Yeah, that squad-based style of tactics game really works for Gears. When they said it was going to be a tactics game, I was expecting like Halo Wars, but for Gears. But this works way better.
Yeah,
it's basically
more
Gears
like
XCOM.
Helldivers. Yeah, I was gonna say that it's closer to that Halo Helldivers that we want.
Corey. I mean, sorry, Corey. Jesse, thoughts?
I'm definitely looking forward to all the Gears games, and especially the Pop one. That's good.
I hate you both.
I just get to make fun of him because you were just so like, yes, Gears, and then the post came out, and we were just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I was gonna be really upset if that was the only Gears thing they showed. I almost like threw my monitor off the table.
He did too.
That would have been hilarious.
No, it would not have been hilarious.
Hold on, I was just gonna say, the message he sent me said it all.
What did I send you?
Or what if they would have just like showed like 20 minutes of that game and like gameplay and all that stuff, and then said that, oh yeah, by the way, we're also gonna be releasing Gears 5 and Gears Tactics. Just like that's all they said for that.
Oh man. Man, Gears 5 looks good. They're sticking with the 2-player co-op, it looks like. Like, it really looks like that. And I'm just like, I really thought they were going to go 4 players again. Like, I really did. But they're staying with the 2-player co-op, which is surprising. Still excited. I cannot wait for Gears 5. It's going to be awesome. I like the logo, too. Because, like, they do, like, it's like a half cog, and the cog has 5 like edges on it, and then it's all iced over because they're going to like the northern part of the region, which is cool. And that's like a new area that we've never really explored in Gears before. Was like a snow area. And
the of war, I think it's just going to be now called Gears, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because a lot of people, when they first revealed Gears 4, it just said Gears 4. And I thought everybody, like, this is a new studio, it's a new direction for the game. Like, you can cut out of war and just call it Gears, because everybody still knows what you're talking about, Gears, right? And it's like, it wouldn't surprise me if they just went Gears 5 with this.
And plus, you know, if you put GOW, some people might think of God of War. If you don't give context of what series.
I think they want to get away from that, too, because those 2 series have been battling for that for a while, like since God of War 2 came out, right? Because God of War 2 and Gears 1 came out around the same time, and people would just start putting GOW, and everybody was like, oh, are you talking about God of War or Gears of War? So, yeah.
So, you got one more thing? Only because I was just going to get to the last part.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So, that was the Microsoft conference. What is your low? A game that's interesting.
Oh, I do have one more thing before we get to this.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, boss.
They talked about their next box. They said, we have engineers working to make sure our next box is the best in gaming. They teased their next box. And, like, when they were talking about it, they had a square, like, shadow of a box up on the screen.
I'll have to rewatch it.
They're teasing their next box. I'm like, it's too early. No.
That's funny.
Just got an X.
They're probably trying to beat PlayStation's announcement. Whenever
it wouldn't surprise me if Xbox One was out first. Like, they have to be, I think, and at a lower cost.
Yeah,
I think Microsoft's going to eat the cost on this next box to get Xboxes in people's homes.
Yeah, I think I didn't bring it up because there just wasn't much information for it,
right?
About it. But So yes, before we do our review for it, what is your low? What did you find interesting? Your highlight, and then what game made the show announcement for you?
Ooh.
What announcement? It could be a game announcement. What made it for you? I'm going to start with you, boss.
Oh jeez, the low was Gears Pop. It's the lowest point of this whole thing. Screw that game. And like people are like, "Oh, you have a couple Funko Pops already." I'm like, "Yes, yes I do." But they are not real Funko Pops. They are made by Funko and they are kind of more shapely than a normal Funko Pop is, right? So,
Mhm.
but in an overall aspect, I do not like Funko Pops. So that was a low. The Game Pass stuff was kind of like, it's not that it was a low. I just didn't really understand what they were trying to do with the Game Pass stuff. Like they kind of said a bunch of stuff that we already knew, and like then they started talking about the fast start stuff, and it was like, okay, I
Mhm.
still don't really understand what you're saying, but yeah, that was kind of. Are we doing all three right now, or are we just
All four. Yeah.
okay? The mid stuff was like, games I've been interested in. Like Metro is always an interesting franchise to follow. Near coming to Xbox was a surprise. Like, but I don't know if I'm like super interested in that. Uh, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice was an interesting get for Xbox. I can't believe that debuted on the Xbox stage. Uh, but I think the best announcements were Halo Infinite. I still want to know more about that, but to know that another Halo game's coming is awesome. Crackdown 3 and Gears 5. And, I'm the most excited about Gears 5, but I'm going to give the game of the show, of the Microsoft conference, to Crackdown. The way they've turned that game around and the way that game looks and looks like it plays and looks like the mayhem and multiplayer stuff is going to be cool. Like, I'm going to give my props to Crackdown.
Okay. Jesse, what is your low? What you find interesting? What is your highlight? And what is your like game announcement for Microsoft show? It could be like I said, a game or just an announcement of anything.
Okay. Yeah, my low obviously the Gears pop. Like I just didn't really care about that. Um, to me it just like seemed like more of like a cash grab type thing. Um, and then also like I didn't really I don't know. There's a couple things I didn't really care too much about. Like I said, before. I mean, I'm sure the people who love Dying Light, because I know that's got a very big following. Like people
Hmm.
love that game. Like that, I'm sure it's gonna be really well received. But I didn't, it just didn't really do much for me. And like you guys said, like they did kind of slow down the pace when they started talking about the Game Pass stuff. So yeah, that for the low, and then for something that piqued my interest, I don't even know if we mentioned it, but that Captain Spirit game, the with the kid that like
The Life is
was
Strange one? Yeah, I mentioned
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, um yeah, that game looked pretty interesting. I think that might like I'm hoping that will be like the next like Rhyme type game where it's like very story driven and
Well,
had like
I mean,
and it
it's
looks
free.
like a
It's
huh?
free to download.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, that looked really interesting. Um, and then like the my highlight would probably be like the Halo. Like that was an amazing opening to the show. Like they kind of like were trying to be misleading. I feel like on purpose, like take you all different places and really make you try to think of what are they showing me right now. That was definitely a lot of fun. And then what else? Let's see for like
And
oh
like
the Sekiro or whatever like I was really excited to see that and like see something like that coming to Xbox. And kind of shocked me a little bit that something in that kind of game style, actually caught my attention because like I said earlier, that's just not something that I normally would gravitate towards. So that, that definitely was a highlight, something I wasn't expecting. And then obviously, like, as far as the like what really sold the show, I mean, there was a lot of times where I was just like freaking out. Like, there's just so many good things that happened during it. But
what was the one thing?
Definitely, though, it was like finding out that they acquired Ninja Theory for sure was like that was just like, what the F just happened? Yeah. Like I did not expect that at all. So that was just a really big, like, because I haven't gotten it yet, but I still want to get the Hellblade or whatever. Yeah, because that game does look amazing, and it was one of the few games that Sony had that I was kind of jealous that we didn't have. So yeah, and honestly, just that whole like them announcing all the companies or studios that they acquired, like that whole section was just mind blowing. So that would definitely, I think that whole section was probably the biggest part of it for me. So
okay, well, my lowest would be like the Fallout 76 and Fallout 4. They just didn't present anything interesting that I seen. Like Corey mentioned, the Pops one. Not saying that I wouldn't try it or anything. I would have to see more of it, but it just didn't
refuse.
It just didn't excite me. I really didn't care anything about PUBG. The Game Pass stuff didn't do nothing for me. Once again, I don't know why they keep bringing the idea of Xbox when they just do a sizzle reel. I think that's something that they could have did for Inside Xbox before the show even started. Like, I don't even think, like, if you're not going to give it those games breathing time or anything, I don't think it needs to be in a show like this. Games that I am interested in Session I'm interested in. Of course, Tunic I'm interested in. Battletoads I'm interested in. I would probably pick up Just Cause if it goes on sale. But some of my highlights, definitely is Kingdom Hearts 3, Crackdown 3, Ori, Halo Infinite. Like, that was just amazing. That was super beautiful for it. The game that actually took it for me was Forza Horizon 4. Being able to race with that community, just how the world looks, it looks so much fun. I was going to pick Ninja Theory, but we already explained that our love. Now, if they would have been like, yeah, we also picked up Way Forward Studios, I would have been like, wait, what? Don't touch my studio, Microsoft. Leave Way Forward alone. Let Nintendo buy them, but you don't touch the Way Forward Studios. That's a no. That's a no. But yeah, Forza Horizon 4, I think is my game of Microsoft press conference, and so I'm going to ask you guys, out of the Yoshi coin review, for me it's a 4 out of 5 Yoshi coins. They hit us with hard games, great announcements, wig snatching a moment when they announced Ninja Theory being bought, and just a ton of games coming for it. Jesse, what would you give it?
I gotta give it 5 out of 5 because I mean, like, like there's a lot of games that I didn't care for. There's just certain things I didn't care for, but I feel like they did a decent enough job of covering them and stuff like that. And like they didn't really with the the Gears Pop game. They didn't really spend like too much time on it or anything like that. It's just kind of a little clip, and then they kind of moved on. Yeah, and I just feel like, cause like the one little thing where with the Game Pass stuff, like it was such like it slowed it down for a second, but it was such a small blip in the grand scheme of everything that I really didn't do much to the negative of it. So, because everything else made up for the little tiny things that happened. So yeah, I'd have to give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay, boss.
I agree with everything Jesse just said. I'd give it a 5 out of 5 too. I think Xbox really knocked it out of the park today. Like, there's a couple of things I would have liked to seen. There's a couple things that I didn't think were worth seeing, but overall, like, I feel like they spent a lot of time on getting through the games, and like they did the opposite of what Bethesda did. Was like they showed the game, they moved on. They showed the game, they moved on. They made it a point to show what the game was within a allotted time, and then like their big games, they would bring out the developer to talk about. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of that indie sizzle reel, like specific games in that sizzle reel, but and the Gears Pop can just go F itself. But other than that, I think it was a near perfect conference. I'm going to have to give them a 5.
Yeah. Cool. So, everybody, that was Arsenal X, our recap of our discussion about the games at E3. Like I said, we covered EA as the Microsoft. You could go to our YouTube page and check out our discussions and our viewings of the Bethesda conference and the Microsoft conference. You can follow us on Twitter at Arsenal X Podcast, and also you can join us on Facebook at Arsenal X Podcast. You can email the show. We want to hear what you guys think about the E3 current. You can email us at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. You can find me on Twitter at thatretrico and check out Optional Opinions this week on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps where I am covering E3. You can check us on Squad Goals and Pod and Play, Royale with Cheese, and other shows here on Nerds Going Rogue. Jesse, where can we find you?
In bed.
Nice.
Okay.
On Twitter at @sub_humanist.
Bossman, where can we find you?
You can find me at CoreyNHC on Twitter and Instagram, and various other shows on the platform.
Yay! Everybody, we do have more shows to cover. We have Ubisoft, Square Enix, Sony, and Nintendo. So we're going to be checking out those shows and giving you guys our thoughts about it. Maybe some things that since we won't have a chance to do any kind of predictions, like extra predictions, we might talk about something that we thought they could have shown or would fit perfect for that. We're going to be trying to watch the Sony one live, and then Tuesday the Nintendo Direct, will be watching that one a little bit later on that day and talking more about that, and probably talking about some of the Treehouse Live stuff. So do check into Nerds Gone Rogue here on YouTube at ngrradio.com for more news, and follow us also on Facebook at Nerds Gone Rogue for any updates. With that, thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Corey. As always, we're gonna throw up the X. Yes, because we are exiting out of here on our X podcast. Bye, everybody. Enjoy E3. Yay!
Goodbye.